But one of the things that is troubling us is sun winning. And sun winning in places that is creating all kinds of problems for different communities. Okay, I don't know if you've seen the Kaswa, Wager Kaswa toll booth, you know, that area. And when it rains, how the sand just washes into the road, you know. And I mean, it's created, it's caused
really
accidents
bad
before, you know, and it can create all kinds of problems there. And my greatest fear, every time I see that thing, is one day a whole chunk of the hill will just slide. And it will slide with all the houses that are on it.
Yeah, because they are precariously perched.
Yeah.
The way they are now.
Yeah.
You know, and there are some big houses in that area. You know, a friend of mine sent me a video one time. He lives in Kaswa, and literally cars have to share one lane. So, you know, it's obviously two directional.
Yes.
But then because one side of the road is so flooded and mud
and filled with sand and mud,
the cars actually have to come and use the opposite lane and share that. I mean, what is all this?
Yeah. You know, people are watching as this happens.
They've been watching.
We are watching as this happens. It's been going on for years.
Until disaster strikes.
Well, we have a report for you from that area. Let's take a look at this report filed by our colleague Calvis Tete. We'll come back and get into the conversations.
It was a sorrowful mood as family, friends, and schoolmates of the 3 deceased children gathered to pay their last respect to their colleagues. 12-year-old Elisha Ejay, 9-year-old Samuel Ejay, and 8-year-old Isaac Amwa drowned in the pits at Broadcasting Hill in the Gassouth municipality last weekend after they went there to play. Traditional authorities from English Yamanfrom gathered at the exact spot where the incident happened to perform traditional rites as customs demands to make way for the bodies to be buried. Here are the traditional leaders speaking to City News about the importance of the rites.
Amamra mu se aye amamra trasa nkwala no ombe wu ensuo we mu no ana pit we mu no ya be yi omo aye ne nkwala no ekofie akọ sie omo ankasa because no omo be wu ensuo no mu no omo susuma aka ha ye mpese be du be bia se nkwala no be wa ha no ye du ana nkwala no ete ha esu ye mpere sa tibia ewo mu wa ha ankasa no se mo mu nyina mo ni tua senior ade ya be death trap amaye nyina ewo ha na ade we ye be sra ban no se oma neni enko ho maye because ene nkola miensa na ekoyi ade ensu the way atie no aye bibi asum ye nyina afidie wo brone so na abana mbe bibi na ye mbesi amuna ye a ochina so ye nimu nia ebesan aba
na oma ngreshi amanfro akonwa no ye ni kwashigbolo the fourth na konwa omo na etu ye se nia esi wo ha no ye megina ho ni obrafo eni asafo ma no eni imrante hine a ho ha ye meka no ho na ye mra emeye sa amamre we onipa bi na aba wa betu anwea ne ade aboba ho ha wagya sa amne ato ha ma sa amanehunu abeto abusuafo bi te ye besre se sa no ma we koso a assembly no omu ha omani omu fi omani amre ye da he ansu abetem ye besre se enani kire ya assembly ni ma yensi sa amne na ne yehu ye ne yehu biom.
For these teachers and classmates of the deceased, the 3 will forever be remembered as they bid farewell to them.
I'm so sad. Yes. I remember that I was not having money and they gave me 2 cedis to go and buy food. So they were very good friends. Nana Kojo, he has been telling me that he's Chinaman. This one Kakla, Elisha, is a good friend. But good things about them, what they have done to me.
Oh, they were jovial, especially the Samuel. Samuel is in my class, and then Isaac also. But the elderly one, that's the Elisha, he is in class 5. So, oh, they are my friends. They are always close with me, especially the Samuel. There's someone always used to carry this my baby, always, all the time.
Municipal Chief Executive for Gansouth, Joseph Nyani, says investigations have begun into the incident.
It's not a happy moment at all for me as a chief executive. The police are still on their investigation. We have met the family a couple of times. We hope that whatever we are supposed to do for the family, we will do it for them. Music have taken a decision, and the decision will come out after this burial.
I don't think there's anything more painful than a parent having to bury their child, and especially for something that is preventable.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't as if this was a child maybe with an illness and this is a child that has died because of the irresponsible behavior of people who should know better.
Duty bearers.
Duty bearers, people who are obviously destroying the environment, and then people who are refusing to do their jobs to prevent that destruction. And 3 children have lost their lives. This isn't the first time we've heard about children losing their lives, and not just children, but people in general in similar circumstances. And it looks as though no one really cares. Kweku, if I'm going to be honest, I don't see any sense of urgency to curb the activities that lead to these tragedies. And people know that the news cycle moves on, you know, after a couple of days, and then they can just forget about it and keep moving. And it's really devastating because those parents are going to live without their children, right? Those classmates are going to live without their friends, their siblings are going to live without them, and the country has lost young lives. We don't know what those children could have grown up to be, but nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care.
Well,
I seriously.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, to say the least. I think that, you know, people need to go to jail for this. Because you see, when somebody dies as a result of your negligence or decision making, right, then responsibility has to be laid at the feet of the right people. Now, in this case, there are a number of persons that are involved. All right. So we have the assembly. Who is responsible for giving? I'm asking a question.
Was there even permits?
You know, for people to win sand in those areas, you know, and all of that. And why are we also not greening their spaces? Why are we not?
That's why I said nobody seems to care. They'll go and give donations to the family. But they'll go and console the parents. That's it.
But we have laws and bylaws, all these nicely written out. Okay. Anyway, our colleague Calvis Tete is on the line with us. He's the one who filed that report. Calvis, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Welcome to Breakfast Day. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great, David.
All right. So talk to us about the situation at Tuba with this whole sun winning thing. Any updates since you filed the report?
Yes, with the Tuba incident, immediately after the incident happened and then the boys were buried, the municipal chief executive in the Gansouth Municipal Assembly actually organized a meeting between themselves and then those who are engaged in the sun winning activities to find lasting solutions to the matter. But from what I learned, that meeting was inconclusive. They are still working at it. I went to the Tuba community where the incident happened, and then you could see on the faces of people there that incident that happened actually took them by surprise. For 3 kids, one parent had 2 of her kids dying as a result of that, and then another parent also had 1 of her kids dying as a result of that. So it is actually a painful thing in the community, that something that they will wish that authorities would be up and doing, and then try and then find solutions to this matter, David.
Yeah. Now, when you so sun winning is illegal, right?
Yes, sun winning is illegal. Yes.
Okay. So then, what is the lasting solution that we are looking for? I don't understand. Why are we sitting down with criminals who are involved in illegalities and looking for a lasting solution? What's the logic?
Yes, sir. You know, David, so I engaged some people in the community, actually speaking to them about the activities of the sun winning. You know, in our interview, when the incident happened, the MC said the activities of the people, they are illegal. and for that matter, they are trying to find ways of trying to stop those sand winning activities. As we speak now, the sand winning activities have halted here. It is no longer happening. So as to whether it will continue, it's a question that needs to be answered.
I see. How soon are the authorities giving? Are they giving any indications as to when they are coming out with a report? When they are coming out with any? What are the next steps? What are we looking at? I know that you said that they are having consultations at the moment, but have they given any timelines or anything like that?
Well, they have not given timelines to the issue, but the last time we spoke, I also spoke to Sylvester Tete, the MP for the area, and he actually made it clear that he would table it before Parliament to see how best they will put some things together and then deal with that matter. He actually made it clear that the incident that happened is not something that they should be happy about, ordinary lives being lost as a result of someone's negligence, and that he's going to table it before Parliament then to deliberate on the matter and then see how they will find a solution to it. As we speak now, what takes place here, I don't know if our viewers are clear with the broadcasting hill area. That is the area just once you are moving from Kaswa towards Accra, just on your right-hand side, you will see some buildings just on the hills of the
where the toll booth used to be, just after where the toll booth
used to be.
Yeah.
Yes, where the toll booth used to be. And so what actually happens is that when it rains, it washes the sand from top of the hill and then comes onto the stretch.
Yes.
This has been something that has been happening for so many years. And anytime it rains, we experience this to the extent that it causes huge gridlock on that toll booth stretch. I'm in that area as we speak now. You could see huge gullies through the community because of the sand that washes from up the hill onto the stretch. I spoke to some of the community people around here, and what they are telling me is that during the construction of the toll booth stretch by Sonitra, the company that constructed the road, they actually used some of the sand on top of the broadcasting hill to construct the road. And so after they finished, that is how come it developed some gullies and potholes around that side. So after they finished, what they should have done was to plant green grass, so to speak, to hold the sand when it rains. But that was not done, leaving people here at the mercy of the rain. Anytime it rains, there are troubles here. I have with me here a resident here who wants to speak to the matter and give us a better understanding of the whole situation.
All right.
Yes, boss. I'm not wrong. Now, what I say, broadcasting happens. And the situation is the same.
Sana di tankan to bia se e yiri e be fakwanum na chan material no mutu obo no tunin tuna ama social na nyaka wa na e powder nti se to bia na twia for so ba yiri kwanum nti me suggest e bia nka betimi aye ne yie kakra na e bia nya boss coverage bia a mbe no kwanu mo mbachim na nsuo no ne material ni nyina timi awura ase nti e yiri kwa na e wa na backward timi awura mayi na at the same time so no bopo no so no be aka kakra no nkombe timi adedua nnua ewo so nnua no ne green grass na no timi prevent issue no say issue no kwa na beba anka nnua na enfra da omu jana say dey na bia matin bia na accident issue at your because of kwa na ase nti the car be do no slow down the next one nim say we na gina ana ina le no so na tutu ase kwa no kra nti ama outside no pe na ide aka nti cars no do on ma we da be say ba ase na ni nyonko ndi abebe bom nti big for the challenge say to ha no.
Okay, David. What he's literally saying is that here at the broadcasting hill, he's suggesting that after the construction company used that portion of the sand to fill the stretch and then construct the road, they should have planted trees in between around the hill to hold the sand when it rains, so that the sand will not come onto the street. He also complained that there have been series of accidents on that stretch. There have been series of accidents on that stretch as a result of the sand that comes on the road. And then when it rains, the water that comes up from the hill also holds those vehicles, and then there are a series of accidents. There is this person who fixes tires just by the roadside. I approached him and I asked him how often does he get business. He said this has been like a trend, because anytime they get to that broadcasting hill area on that stretch, on the Tobu stretch, there are some gullies and potholes on the road to the extent that vehicles who pass there often test their tires. So, I mean, that is the business for him. Anytime he's fixing ties, you know. And David, it is interesting to know that this thing is actually also creating employment for somebody, David.
Yeah. No, so, Cabez, my question, I don't know if the gentleman is still there.
Yes, he's still here.
Yeah, so my question is, you know, these kind of situations, the road has been built, somebody will sign off that the job has been done well and all further responsibilities have been taken care of, and the road is in use. But the area is manned by an assembly. All right? The assembly can plant grass. For the last 10, 15, I don't know how many years, this road has been open and be used. We know that the solutions are there. Planting grass does not cost any amount of money. You can literally transplant from one area and plant in another area. There are creeping plants, there are all kinds of plants that grow well and hold the soil well. What's the issue here? What is the assembly itself doing? That's what I would like to know. What the assembly is doing regarding this situation.
Okay. Assembly no more bahani mabidi nkomo se mpeso mu bi de nia bi distance ya na mwankasa mo mo se hate no mu tuta na mo no da
evidence it's one mo bia penyu bia ma over sometimes number wo se omo number bia ade na say no beto bia ni am that is bia factor so just say no mo person mo da bi distance here and na penyu for so as no as bia det no bia ko pen na no dia na so bia so enya ya bi se bia because ade na ejuma na honest no nti era han ya nkasa de enya bi bia sa bi se ebi a so no na yira boys no mtumi an so mdu shawo ne essentially help us no ma ko stand na no se be aka bit ekem no pe ne mo ayo to timi boy ho na se ebi an so to a ehu anya ne wo je ehu hono an ka so do ehu be ya e wa han je ebi so na yiri kwa na pe na traffic na ha no mo fa o kasi ya mo na ma ana de e ko ntama na ha kwa na traffic ni ti e wa si da inside no mo wo e ben sa de na mo ka mo na ya na there but problem nankasa de main road no na mapani so ma makwana tusana na mbika ka ina le ni jatai oda udro na udina ufoma na wo banya accident ka se na pe kwa bia no se papa ne kan se ka nya accident o mutwa no mu yi pa no nte ade atabia no ai so there's an individual here who is also telling me that just this morning a vehicle had an accident in that area just that stretch, so I would engage him as well.
Please do.
Accident.
Almost Kwano, and the way to Nayan at the channel, almost full man, I'm saying, accident.
And then before that,
and Nimpano, almost and Kwantan.
And parents saying, I could share this water. And they be almost tiny, baby, a daughter. Well, David, this individual here, I also spoke with a resident of the broadcast area, and what he's saying is that just yesterday was an accident here involving a private vehicle who actually hit into the pothole and then burst a tire, and the car fell to the other side of the road. So they had to bring in men to come and then pick the people from the vehicle. Like I was saying, that portion of the road is destroyed, and it's creating a lot of problem in this area. The individual I also spoke to, who spoke in the local language, is also saying that now the people in the community have actually not approached the assembly in terms of planting trees in that area. But now that it has begun raining, they are hoping that the authorities will come to them and see how best they can plant some trees, so to speak, to hold the sun from up the hill, David.
Yeah, well, Calvin, thank you very much. I mean, honestly, I wish we could speak to the authorities, you know, there, the people from the assembly, to actually find out what it is that they've been doing or plan to do. I mean, plan to do at this stage is late in the day, but, you know, I guess it's better late than never, you know. So, but I'm very disappointed, you know, that all these years, and you see, the gentleman who was speaking, who Calvin spoke to earlier, I mean, he said exactly what the solution is. If he knows, believe you me, everybody in the assembly knows, and higher up, they know what the solution is. Yeah. Just plant. That's and you see, the interesting thing is that there are plants that when you plant the first lot, they spread. by themselves. You don't even need to plan the entire stretch. They will spread on their own.
It's just
I don't understand how our minds work.
How do we even allow? So you say, okay, the contractor used some of the sand to construct the road.
Yes.
Was there an environmental impact assessment done to say that, okay, you're going to be taking sand from here to make the road. When we are done, like you're saying, we have to plant trees or we have to.
And these things are supposed to be checked before you sign off that a job has been done.
It's just mind-boggling to me, honestly.
And somebody has signed off that a job is done. Sonitra is gone.
I don't understand it. And look at this, the guy who repairs tires, talking about, I mean, he's basically telling us, look, this is a disaster zone.
It is.
And no one is paying attention. Yeah. Nobody cares whatsoever. Well, this is mind-boggling. It's like, it's just chaos.
So Ministry of Roads and Highways is culpable.
Yeah. EPA
is culpable. Who else? The Lands Ministry is culpable. The assembly there is also culpable.
Charlie, I think Calvis is joining us again.
Okay.
He has somebody there who also witnessed an accident in the area. Hi, Calvis.
Yes, hi. Yes, so there's this individual here who happened to be a witness to the accident that happened this dawn on that stretch we're talking of. He's the opinion, your process. This happens in Imachigin.
I'm a chibe 3:30. They could jam a requirement. The two are near a pipe car. Say the power, I'm not rubber issue. I use the year pipe. And many yet may you nip. Moshe is people you swear a free police sunny but a queen. And yet, no, the crowd better cry compared to what it is. Anche ya kwesịrị ka ebie ya anasa mụ ma ya enu ya kpọ nye dị ya wa ha nka bare sam kriminal ne kwa nyini kwa kabiti ba broku so do kwan disi an wan kasa no mo fred bi ya so ya se dia na mo ye wo kwan mu ade amaye mo be yo ba pata na mo ye de amaye wa enya de ketwa ani ma chi na mi hu mo mani so no
Calvis,
yes,
please ask him what was the situation like when he first moved there 12 years ago?
Okay, I brought back 12 years ago. Not anything. No, I left for the aircraft. They are wet. So they will be crying. The people are water. I'm a me being soon. And look what they are wet. This year and what I'm a and young machine by neck and maybe you. But it's a month in a month for them. I never moved up a few boa. Bombs will depart. Then I'm saying, much to be able to try. Near about my person curve. Into the women in a moment, I'm a nanakasem. Nothing, Namaba was a young woman, we are, and the idea, and very much of Pusu, because a bone, a common at the 52. I'm not at home. But to throw a comment, my mother at the 50. Indeed, admire the hard matter. Diana Open Company for Zero. And I had much my over Pasiana, my intimate in India. Near St. Posusu. Send a bear and soon at a tenant to me and single car and said one car to meeting. Almost the bear who they not going to meet more. Now, my phone a digit schedule mutum. Motivation super Majahoko. Mother would have found to see an Akogamina, Penina and Sia, Sameboa. What television so no be answered. Into Mumwa. Yes, David. So what this individual is also saying is that he was a witness to the accident that happened this dawn, and that it was a very bloody accident involving a trailer. That when he got there at that time of the day with his wife, there were lots of people gathered with the police, all there trying to bring the bodies from the trailer. This is because there are some gullies and small potholes on that stretch when it rains. So when you get to that Tuba section, you don't take time, and then you actually apply the brake. It pushes you into that small gullies there, and you can just burst your tire in that instant. You would not know what to do. More than the pothole already, a better 11 or 12 feet pothole, and then a pothole. You grab a thing while the pothole down. I want in sound, and this will be now your own Namoa, now only more down. So, more than two.
So, Cabas, try and paint a picture for us. This gullies he's talking about. Is it in the main road?
In the main road, the gullies. There are some gullies on the main road.
On the main road.
Because when the rain comes and then it gets onto the road and it's not able to go because there are no proper gutters for the road to move. It creates gullies on the main road.
Okay.
So when you get there, unknowing to you, you might fall in that gully and you can burst your tire. Like I was saying earlier, there's an individual who fixed tires by the shoulder of the road. He said he makes a lot of money because of that gully. He makes a lot of money.
Right.
That was
that could go to many tires for no more than 40.
Wow. Okay.
If you can't give me answer and condemn Nancy Cramp and Bobby Fee, I didn't call say, but you are saying I want in your neighbor. Can you ever tell me the degree? I'm a fast and you need money for anybody in every. But it's a meeting to Nayana Kusti. In front of more wound, me and you never got a Idaho. You are how we were Ghana. Huh? One minute more Ghana, I see, yes, why I say, what I said to be any one sana, one will say, yes, you're pretty, must have for any banner.
So it seems to me, Calvis, that what's happening is that a lot of people don't realize that there are gullies there because of the sand that has been washed from the hillside, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it tends to actually create a lot of accidents on that stretch.
Yeah.
The very latest one being what happened this dawn.
This is on the Kaswa to Accra stretch.
Yes,
that side.
Just after the toll booth. Just a little bit after the toll booth,
Okay.
you see those gullies there.
Okay. All right. For
Thank
speaking
you,
to
David.
us. Yeah.
You know what?
Yes, Kokwe.
Nothing is going to change until we start suing the entities responsible.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what happens in other jurisdictions.
Yeah.
That's how come if there's a crack in the pavement and you trip, you go and sue the council and they have to pay you.
Yes.
Because they're supposed to fix that.
Yes.
But we don't have money. So, and people, the court system is slow and it's frustrating. But honestly speaking, if you could actually sue for the kind of damage that occurs from things that should be fixed by government actors.
One of the family members of the deceased children should actually take
because they've caused them to lose their children.
The assembly, lands ministry, take them all to court. Yeah.
It would be a good test case because
you see,
when no one is held responsible,
all you do is that you do this band-aid dressing thing where after the incident happens, then big men show up, come and give
a little something and then walk away.
2,000 cedis, 3,000 cedis, and then that's it. But if you sue them,
this is wrongful death.
And exactly.
And negligence, Sometimes, some way they call it what? Negligent man something. There's a word for it. No, I don't know what our law books say. And
get them to pay 500,000, 1 million Ghana cedi, etc. And they win the cases in court. It will stop the nonsense that's going on.
You'll see all of a sudden, people will start acting right. That's the only way it has worked abroad. People taking the system on and saying, no, this is unacceptable. You're supposed to fix this road or this pothole or this gully. People are having accidents, crashing, dying, and life goes on as usual. It cannot be so.
As usual.
It cannot be so. I mean...
Anyway,
Lord.
well, I mean, the rains have definitely come in, and they're coming hard and fast. Of course, we know that the southern part of the country